Morning, all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, good morning. Yesterday we were discussing about the combination of capacitors. I hope it is clear, right? Yes, Nevin, what do you mean by series combination of capacitor?
They are connected together in a line. It's not connected to one, but it's connected to each other.
Okay, the
Yeah.
end-to-end connection of capacitors are known as the series combination. Naurin, how we can calculate the effective resistance in a series not effective resistance, effective capacitance of a series combination?
1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3.
Okay, good. Dia, what are the other characteristics of series combination of capacitance?
The charge is same, but potential is different.
The charge is same and potential is different. And what about the effective value of the capacitance in a
It is less.
series? It is less. Okay, good. Gayatri, what do you mean by the parallel combination of capacitors?
Which the terminals of all capacitors are connected to a single point.
Okay, good. And then Rijas, how we can calculate the effective capacitance in parallel combination? Rijas,
CP is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3.
okay, good. Vidur, what are the other characteristics of parallel combination of capacitors?
Charges are different, potentially same. Then sum of capacitance of individual capacitors is the total.
Yes, here the charge is different and potentially same. And the effective capacitance in the case of parallel combination is greater. Okay. I think it's clear. So we can move to the next topic, that is energy stored in the capacitor. So all of you write the next heading, energy stored in the capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor. Okay. So in order to explain this energy stored in a capacitor, here we can consider a capacitor. Two plates, one is positive charge plate and other is a negative charge plate. And in order to explain the, or in order to store the energy, this capacitor is connected to a voltage source. In order to store the energy, it is connected to a voltage source. So here we are consider the capacitor. To explain this energy storing of capacitor, we connect this capacitor to an external voltage source V. So students, when we are discussing about the energy stored in a capacitor, the things that came in your mind is about some of the electrical devices that we are used by charging, right? Can you say some examples for the electrical devices that we are used by charging? Yes? Can you say any devices that is used after charging? Yes, Gauri?
Mobile phone.
Mobile phone. Okay, right. Then any other electrical devices?
Laptop.
Yes, laptop, mobile phone, similarly some torches. We are used it by after charging. So when we are charging this electrical devices, what do you think? Does it charge quickly? When we are charging these devices, does it charge quickly? No, it takes its own time. Sometimes it may be half an hour or full hour to become fully charged. So you just compare in the case of a capacitor. Similarly here, the charging takes place very slowly. If the electrical devices are subjected to charging, the charging takes place very slowly. It is not fully charged. It is not quickly fully charged. It takes its own time to charge at devices. And who is do the work here? Who is do the work here? And it is the form of work done, that is the charging takes place. And in the case of the electrical devices like this mobile phone or laptop or torches, who is do this work?
The battery.
Yes, very good. Here the battery is doing the work to charge that electrical devices. Similarly, here in this case of capacitor, we are providing a voltage source V, and this voltage source V or this battery is performing the work done to store these charges. So work done by this battery is stored in the form of energy. It is stored in the form of energy. So here, what is the expression for calculating the work done? The expression for calculating the work done is equal to W is equal to F dot D. We know that work done is the force into displacement. For a maximum work done, W is equal to F dot D. Okay. And what is force? We can write the force in terms of charge. There is a relationship between the force, charge, and the electric field. Do you remember? Yes, F is equal to QE. F is equal to QE. So we can give this equation, the first equation as equation number 1. The work done by the battery can be calculated by W is equal to F dot D. And F is nothing, it is QE. So the equation 1 becomes W is equal to, instead of this force F, we can write QE into D. QE into D. Okay. But here in this case, we are not providing any electric field. So we can write this electric field in terms of potential. What is the equation for electric field E? There is a relation between electric field and potential. What is that? Here we are providing a potential V. So E is equal to? We already studied that E is equal to the negative gradient of potential, negative dV by dx. But here we are providing a total potential V. So E is equal to V by D. We can write E is equal to V by D. Okay, so here E is equal to V by D. So again, this equation for work done becomes W is equal to Q into, instead of E, we can write V by D into D. Any term cancels here? Yes, the D and this D is cancelled. So the work done becomes equal to W is equal to QV. W is equal to QV. And in the very beginning of the derivation, we have already discussed that the charge is entering into this capacitor not in a quickly manner. The slow amount of charges enter into the capacitor. So a very small charges are entering into the capacitor. After that, it takes its own hour to store the complete charges. So instead of writing this Q, we can write W is equal to dQ. This dQ shows it is a small charge, not a complete charge is enter into the capacitor. Small charges enter into the capacitor when we are applying this potential V. So this work done, W is equal to dQV. And the work done to enter this small charge is also small. So instead of writing W, we can write dW. This is a small work done in order to store the small charges inside a capacitor. By applying the potential V, the charges are not quickly enter into the capacitor. It takes its own time and small charges are enter into the capacitor.
Ma'am,
Oh, yes, Achut.
ma'am, up to W is equal to QV, I understood. Ma'am, after that, can you explain?
Yes, we get W is equal to QV. But in the very beginning of this derivation, we discussed that inside an electric device or any electrical devices, when we are charging, the charges are not quickly enter into this device. the small charges are entered. So instead of this entire charge Q, we can change it in the form of small charge. The small charge is represented by dq. The dq is representing the small charge. Okay, so dq into v. In order to enter this small charge into a capacitor, here we are doing a small work done, not an entire complete work done is doing here. A small work done is doing here to enter the small charge. So this term W is also changes into dW. It is the small work done to enter a small charge. So this dW is equal to dQ into V. Or we can rearrange this and write dW is equal to VdQ. dW is equal to VdQ. And again, how we can calculate the total work done from this expression? Did you remember the step? How we can calculate the total work done here? Here dW is equal to V into dQ. How we can calculate the total work done?
Integral.
Yes, very good. Here integrating. Here we are going to integrate. While integrating, this equation becomes integral dW is equal to integral V dQ. So from this small work done, we can calculate the total work done by integrating that equation. So it becomes integral dW is equal to integral V dQ. Okay. And here, what is the equation for potential in terms of charge? We can replace that potential in terms of charge Q. We know that Q is equal to CV, right? From that equation, what is the value of the potential V? V is equal to Q by C. V is equal to Q by C. So because here there is no term of potential here, only this. We want to integrate this. So we need to change this term potential in terms of charge. Then only it becomes integral Q dQ terms. So for that we are changing this potential in terms of charge. So we know that V is equal to Q by C. So this equation becomes integral dW is equal to integral Q by C dQ. Integral dW is equal to integral Q by C dQ. Now, from where to where this integration is changes, here we need to consider the case of charge, right? Here we need to consider the case of charge. From where to where the charge is changes. Suppose we can say the charges Q1 and Q2. Q1 is the initial charge. Initially, what is the charge of capacitor? What is the charge of capacitor initially? Initially, there is no charge for the capacitor. That is, Q1 is tends to 0. Initially, there is no charge for the capacitor. So Q1 is tends to 0. And whenever we are charging this capacitor, finally it attains a charge of capital Q. Okay. So here we cannot draw these symbols because initially the capacitor does not contain any charge. After that it becomes fully charged. So initially the capacitor possesses no charge. Now we want to charge this capacitor. For that we are connecting a potential source there. So initially this capacitor does not contain any charge, that is Q1 is equal to 0. And finally we want to make it is completely charged, that is capital Q charge. We want to make it is completely charged. So here the integration is varies from 0 to capital Q. Okay. Here the integration is varies from 0 to capital Q. When you are studying this integration, it is more clear to you. So now you just understand. So integral dW is equal to integral 0 to Q, Q by C dQ. So once again, I will write it. Integral dW is equal to integral 0 to Q, Q by C into dq. Okay. Here, what is the integral of derivative of the work done? Integral of dw. What is integral of dw?
W.
It is the w itself. Okay. So this integral of derivative of a function is that function itself. So integral dw is equal to that function w. And here Q by C dq. And here the C is the capacitance. There is no term of capacitance here. So we can consider it as a constant and take it outside. So it becomes 1 by C into integral 0 to capital Q, Q dq.
Ma'am,
So the, yes,
can you say again why we took 1 by C of C?
because here the C, there is no more terms of capacitance here. So we don't need to integrate this capacitance. It is a constant value. Okay, so we take the capacitance outside. So it becomes 1 by C into integral 0 to Q, Q dq. Okay, so now the integration is becomes W is equal to 1 by C into integral 0 to Q, Q dq. So now we want to integrate the function Q dq only. Okay,
Ma'am,
so yes,
the
Achut.
capacitance is actually 0 right? Initially.
Initially, the charge of the capacitor is 0.
No, ma'am, so we can give C as 0 right?
C is 0.
Uh,
No. It is the charge of the capacitor is 0, but this capacitor is possess some value. The capacitance, that is sometimes it may be 2 microfarad and all. It is not the capacitance value is 0. Initially, the charge is 0. Charge possessed by the capacitor. Okay. So W is equal to 1 by C into integral 0 to Q, Q dq. Okay. And students, in integration, we have a solution for this function. For example,
Ma'am, I didn't understand.
yes,
1 by C Q D.
1 by C Q dq. You didn't understand that term. So
No, ma'am.
here we are starting from integral dw is equal to integral 0 to Q, Q by C dq. Okay. Here, integral dw is the integration of the small work done. And here the charge is varies from initially there is no charge is present on the capacitor. So initially the charge is 0. And finally we want to make it is completely charged. So it becomes capital Q. And here Q by C dq, where Q is the charge, C is the capacitance, and dq is the small charge. Okay. And here initially the capacitance, initially, not initially, even though finally, the capacitance is remains a constant. Because here we are considering a capacitance, suppose it possesses a particular value. Sometimes it may be 2 microfarad or 3 microfarad or 4 microfarad, any integer value. That value of the capacitance is a constant. It is not varies from the beginning to the final. It is remains constant. So the C is a constant here. Suppose we can consider the capacitance here as 3 microfarad. So here we are consider a capacitor with the capacitance value 3 microfarad, and initially it is uncharged. It is connected to a voltage source in order to become fully charged. Okay. We know that sometimes in the case of a mobile phone charge, it possesses a battery voltage of 9 volt. It is a constant voltage, right? Just similar to that, here the capacitance is possess a constant value. That constant value of the capacitance is 3 microfarad. Suppose it is 3 microfarad. So here this capacitance is a constant. We can take it outside. And the integral of that derivative of a function is that function itself. So it becomes W is equal to, since the capacitance value is a constant, it is 3 microfarad. Here, we just suppose that. So we can take it outside. So it becomes 1 by C into integral 0 to Q, Q dq. Since the value of capacitance is a constant, we take that capacitance outside. Is it clear now? I think
Yes.
he's not satisfied with the explanation, right? Who is asked it? Emmanuel?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Emmanuel, here the value of this capacitance is a constant. Okay, it is a constant. That is why we don't need to integrate it, because the integration, we are not doing
Ma'am,
integrate.
I got-
Yes,
Got it, got it.
we are not doing the integration for, I think someone is, uh, okay, okay. So the integration of a constant function is not exists. That is why we are taking it out outside. So here the work done is becomes 1 by c is equal to integral 0 to q into q dq. Okay, integral 0 to q q dq. So the integration is becomes w is equal to 1 by c into integral 0 to q q dq. Okay. And in mathematics, there is a solution for this integration. Integral x raised to n dx. Integral x raised to n dx can be solved in the form x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. This is the general formula to solve integral x raised to n dx. Integral x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Similarly, here also we have a function like this, that is integral x raised to x dx, which means that here we have 1. Okay, then what is the solution of this equation? According to this, x raised to n dx can be solved in the form of x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Similarly, here we have x dx, but here we can put, if there is no number here, we can put it as 1. So integral x raised to 1 dx. How we can solve this x raised to 1 dx? Similar to this equation, x raised to n plus 1. Instead of n, here we have 1. So it becomes x raised to 1 plus 1 divided by n plus 1. Here instead of n, we have 1. So it becomes 1 plus 1. What is the solution? X raised to 2 divided by 2. Clear? This is actually the mathematical integration.
Q raised to 2 divided by 2.
Yes. Similarly, here we have the equation q dq. Q dq. We can write it is of the form integral q raised to 1 dq. Then what is the solution? It becomes q raised to 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. That is equal to q raised to 2 divided by 2. Okay, this is the solution. So you can write it in your side box. So we can solve this integration like this. So we can solve here. W is equal to 1 by c is constant. Take it outside. Integral q dq. We can write it in the form of 0 to q raised to 1 dq. If we can solve this in the form W is equal to 1 by c into q raised to 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 from 0 to q. Or you can write W is equal to 1 by c into q square divided by 2, and the integration is varies from 0 to q. The limit is varies from 0 to q. Now we want to apply the upper limit and lower limit to this equation. So it becomes W is equal to 1 by c into, first we are applying the upper limit. So instead of this q, we can write capital Q square divided by 2 minus the lower limit, it becomes 0 square divided by 2. Okay. So the second term is cancelled. So we can write W is equal to, what is the equation becomes? W is equal to 1 by c into, this term is cancelled. So we have 1 by c into q square divided by 2. 1 by c into q square divided by 2. Or we can write W is equal to q square divided by 2c. Q square divided by 2c. So this is the work done by the voltage source in order to store the energy, and this work done by the voltage source is stored in the form of energy. Okay, in a capacitor, The work done by this voltage source is stored in the form of energy. So W is equal to Q square by 2C. Okay, this is the basic equations and we need to make some substitutions to this. So we get two more equations for the work done. So this is one equation for calculating the work done or the energy stored in the capacitor. W is equal to Q square divided by 2C. Okay, now we can make some substitutions to this equation. It becomes, so here we get the work done. W is equal to Q square divided by 2C. This is one equation for work done by the voltage source in order to store the energy. Students, we know that Q is equal to CV, right? Q is equal to CV. Then we can write this charge capital Q is also equal to what? It is equal to CV. Then what about Q square? Q square is equal to C square V square. So substitute this value here. We have W is equal to, instead of Q square, we can write C square V square divided by 2C. Here one C and this C is cancelled. So it becomes W is equal to half CV square. This is the another expression for the work done by the potential in a capacitor, to store the energy in a capacitor. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the basic equation for work done by the capacitor. One equation, work done by the capacitors to store the electrical energy. To store the energy in a capacitor, W is equal to Q square by 2C. Now we are substituting, instead of Q, we know that Q is equal to CV. Then Q square is equal to C square V square. Substitute this value in this equation. We have W is equal to C square V square by 2C. Cancel this one C and here from denominator. Then it becomes W is equal to half CV square. So this is our second equation. The work done by the potential to store the electric charge. So the second equation is this. W is equal to half CV square. Now we have one more equation is there. One more equation. We can split this equation 2 in the form W is equal to half CV square is here. So we can split that V square. It becomes CV into V, right? W is equal to half CV into V. Then what is CV? CV is equal to, yes, it is the charge Q. The CV is equal to charge Q. Q is equal to CV, that we were already discussed. Then it becomes W is equal to half. Instead of the CV, we can write QV. This is the another equation for the work done to store the energy in a capacitor. So you may study these three equations for the work done by the potential in order to store the energy in a capacitor. It will be helpful for you doing the numericals. So W is equal to half QV. Okay, so we are already discussed that this work done is stored in the form of energy in a capacitor. So once again, we can recollect all these equations. Energy stored in a capacitor is given by energy stored in a capacitor. Energy stored in a capacitor is given by, the three equations are there. And energy stored in a capacitor is represented in terms of U, not W. The work done by the potential to store the energy, and that work done is stored in the form of energy. That energy is represented by U. U is equal to Q square by 2C. The first equation, Q square divided by 2C. Or U is equal to half CV square. This is the first equation. Or U is equal to half CV square. And the third equation, the energy stored in a capacitor, U is equal to half QV. Half QV. This is the third equation. So there are three equations are there in order to calculate the energy stored in a capacitor. U is equal to Q S.
Earlier we wrote W is equal to, right?
Yes, Achut. That work done is stored in the form of energy. So the energy stored in a capacitor can be denoted by the letter U. That is why that W is changed by this letter U. Energy stored in a capacitor can be represented by the letter U. Both are same. Instead of the W, we are replace it by the term U. This U is represents the energy stored in a capacitor. Is it clear? If you have any doubt, you can ask and clear now itself. What about Emmanuel?
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes,
you
Achut.
can say again why we are writing as
U. The work done by this potential is stored in the form of energy. And the energy can be denoted by the letter U. Okay, instead of this work done, we can write this energy. Energy is represent. I think we are in physics, we will study about the energy in U. I think so. So U. You can write U or W. No problem. So instead of writing W, we can use the term U for energy. Energy stored in a capacitor is given by U is equal to Q square by 2C. U is equal to half CV square and U is equal to half QV. And one more small topic is there, came under this energy stored in a capacitor, that is energy density. All of you finish this? Can I rub the board? Okay. Write the next subheading, energy density. Next subheading, energy density. Energy density. And write the definition for this energy density. Energy density is defined as energy stored per unit volume. Energy density is defined as the energy stored per unit volume. Energy density is defined as the energy stored per unit volume. So we can write energy density is equal to energy stored per unit volume divided by volume. Okay. So energy density is given by energy stored per unit volume. Or we can write energy density is equal to we study one expression for the energy stored in a capacitor. The energy stored in a capacitor is given by half CV square. One equation is there. Energy stored in a capacitor is given by half CV square divided by volume. You write it is volume itself. Otherwise, you have a tendency write V and cut this V potential and this volume V. So instead of writing V, you write volume itself. Okay. So energy density is equal to half CV square divided by volume. Okay. Now we consider a capacitor. Now consider a capacitor. both of them having the area of cross section A, and they are separated by a distance of D. Okay, so consider a capacitor, both of them having the area of cross section A, and the distance of separation between them is D. Then the volume is given by, then the volume of a capacitor is given by area into distance, area of cross section into distance. Okay, or we can write the volume is equal to, instead of area here we are taken the area as A, area of cross section, so we can write A into D. Distance of separation between them is D. So the volume of the capacitor is given by area into distance, area of cross section into distance. So the volume is equal to AD. Okay. So here we can substitute the value of volume to this equation. So the energy density becomes energy density equal to half CV square divided by, instead of volume, we know that volume is equal to AD, that is the area of cross section of the capacitor and that of the distance of separation between them. And here we can make one more substitution. What is the capacitance of a capacitor if the medium of separation between them is air? Here we are considering a capacitor separated by a distance of D. Then what is the value of C? C is equal to capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor if the medium of separation between them is air. C is equal to epsilon 0. Yes, epsilon 0 A divided by D. So instead of this C, we can write that substitution here, because here we are consider a capacitor. It is separated by a distance of D and the medium of separation between them is air. So the energy density becomes energy density is equal to half. Instead of C, we can write the substitution for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, that is epsilon 0 A divided by D into V square divided by AD. And here this D is actually in the denominator. Therefore, energy density is equal to half epsilon 0 A V square divided by AD square. This D in the numerator is comes to denominator, so it becomes AD square. Which of the terms are cancelled here?
A, ma'am.
Area A. So this A and this A is cancels. So we can write energy density is equal to half epsilon 0 V square by D square. Half epsilon 0 V square by D square. Now, one more substitution. What is V by D? The potential by distance. What is V by D? It is electric field E. It is the relation between the electric field and the potential. We know that the electric field is the negative gradient of potential, or the magnitude of the electric field is the potential. So we know that E is equal to VD. Then what is E square? E square is equal to V square divided by D square. So the equation for energy density becomes energy density equal to half epsilon 0. Instead of this v square by d square, we have e square, because E is equal to Vd and V square by D square is equal to E square. This is the expression for the energy density. Energy density is defined as the energy per unit, energy stored in a capacitor per unit volume of the capacitor. So the energy density is given by the equation. Energy density is equal to half epsilon 0 E square. Is it clear? Do you have any doubt? Okay. So today we are starting with energy stored in a capacitor, and in order to explain this energy stored in a capacitor, initially we are consider a capacitor and connected it to a voltage source. Okay, then what happens in the case of an electrical devices, here also the charges are slowly enter into a capacitor. So the work done by the battery here, the work done is stored in the form of energy. And this expression for work done is given by W is equal to Ft. It is the force into displacement. But we know that force is equal to QE, and then we substitute the value of the F here in that equation. And through the necessary arrangements, we get the expression for the energy stored in a capacitor. There are three equations are there for energy stored in the capacitor. Adul, what is the first equation for the energy stored in a capacitor?
Q square by 2C.
Yes, very good. U is equal to Q square by 2C. Sania, second equation.
U is equal to half CV square.
Okay, U is equal to half CV square. Lydia.
Yes, ma'am.
Third equation.
U equal to half QV.
Yes, U is equal to half QE. Okay, good. And then next one, Krishna Chandran. Okay. Meenakshi, define energy density. What do you mean by energy density?
Energy density is the energy stored per unit volume.
It is the energy stored per unit volume. Okay. Aryan, equation for energy density.
1 by 2 epsilon 0 E square.
Okay, 1 by 2 epsilon 0 E square, half epsilon 0 E square. Okay, all right. It's clear, right?
Yes.
Okay, Manuel. Okay, so we have one more topic, so we can discuss after the holiday. Okay, so all of you must prepare for your exam well. The first chapter. If you have any doubt, you can contact me through my WhatsApp number. No problem. Okay. So I think we can wind up this today's class. I know it's earlier. No problem. Okay. So thank you, students. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.